Hey developers, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to kick off the Dart series 2023 edition. In this video, we are going to dive into the basics of the Dart programming language. We'll start by looking what is Dart, what is Flutter, and then we explore the syntax of the Dart and structure of the programming language. Variables, data type, comments, keywords, difference between const and final, and the last, some important features. So grab your code editor and let's get started on your journey with Dart and Flutter. What is Dart? Dart is a client-optimized language for fast applications on any platform. Client-optimized language means a programming language optimized for building user interfaces with some features. If we talk about Dart and Flutter, Dart is a programming language optimized for mobile apps, while Flutter is a new platform built specifically for building mobile apps. Flutter uses Dart as Dart allows Flutter to avoid the need for a separate declarative layout language like JSX and XML. What is Flutter? We all know that Flutter is an open source framework by Google for building beautiful, natively compiled and multi-platform applications from a single code base. Let's get started. This is our Dartpad. You can get it by typing dartpad.dev on the Google. And I'm using it for just practice. First, we will look at the Dart syntax. Main is the function. Basically, it's an entry point of our code execution. And print is a function in which I write Flutter Queen. And it will print my statement Flutter Queen on the console. And why I write semicolon at the end of the print statement? Because semicolon represent the compiler as my statement ends here. It's a terminator. Okay, if I put double slash before the statement, it will consider it as a comment. So what are comments? Comments are the set of statements that are ignored by the Dart compiler during the program executions. There are two types of comments, single line comments and multi-line comments. Okay, if you put double slash before the statement, it will only ignore my Flutter Queen statement, and this is the single line comment. Or if I put slash asterisk and at the end of the statement slash asterisk. Now, this is the multi-line comments. The compiler will ignore only two above lines and run only that hello world statement. Now let's jump to the data types and variables. Variables to store some information, and data types specifies the type of value you are storing to that variable. Okay. Data types are string, single quotes or double quotes, integers, int, whole numbers, bool, which is boolean, true or false. Okay, double, which carries decimal values, list, map, key value pairs, and the last but not least, dynamic, which predict data type itself. Okay, first we will write the data type. String start with the capital letter of S. Then write the variable name. My variable name is gender and my value is female. When you are writing some string data types variables, then you should wrap your value with single or double quotes, okay? If you want to print female on the console, you don't need to write female in the print statement. You just need to write the variable name gender. Your variable name could be anything. Just start with the small letters like name, number, gender. Okay, my variable name is number, or if I write 24 in the single quotes, this is a string. This is not integer or number. This should be considered as a string because it's wrapped with the single quotes. If I write int data type instead of a string, it will give me error because 24, this compiler is not considered this 24 as an integer. Now come to integer data type. Int age 23. Now this 23 considered as an integer data type. But if I write 68.70, now it will give me error because integer carries only whole numbers, not decimal values. For decimal values, I need to write double data type. Now this will consider it as a double data type. Come to bool, which carries true and false. Bool is female if there is a female present or not. So is female true? Print is female. It will give me true. Now see the example of list data type. First we write list and the name of that list, if I write array, my list carries only one data type, which is a string, okay? Apple 55 true and 89.99. These are not integer, bool or decimal points double data type. These all are string because all values wrap in the single quotes. But it is considered as a list data type because it is in the square brackets. If you want to specify the type of these values in the list, then you should write list string. Now this will consider as a string list. But if you want to specify different type of values in the list, then you should have not mentioned that what type of these values are. You should write list array and carries different values. Like apple is the string, 55 integer, true boolean, and decimal is the 89.99. Okay, what are indexes? So if I take my first value in the list, I want to print only first value apple. Apple should start with the 0 index. Okay, write array, square brackets, and that index number of that value. Like if I want to print 89.99, I should write 3. You just need to remember that list index starts with the 0. Okay, come to the map data type, which is key value pairs. If you learn Python, Python has a dictionary key value pairs. Okay, map data type, student data, and map start with the curly brackets. And we need to write key and values. Name, Ariba, age, (23). Keys should be in string format, and your values could be in any data types. Like I write age, 23 is an integer, is female, true is bool, percentage is in double, data type 89.99. Okay. Now I want to print that map. I should write the variable name, student data. It will print. Oops, I forgot to put comma. Now, you can see it will print all my student data. But if I want to print only my name, so I should write in the square brackets, I should write my key. Then you can print your specific values of your map. Okay, remember, for a list, if you want to print a specific value from your list, then you should write index. Or if you want to, for maps, if you want to print a specific value, then you should write the key. Now let's talk about the dynamic data type. Dynamic is a special variable initialized with keyword dynamic, and it predicts the data type itself. Like first we write the keyword dynamic. You don't need to specify the data type of that variable. The compiler will predict itself that var1 has a string data type. You can reassign value to var1. Now it will print only Flutter. For variables, like how you write variable names. Like a variable name starts with the small letters, name, N is the small first name. First, F is the small letter, start with the small letter F, and name N. This is the camel case, okay? Or you can write first underscore name, name 1. You can write these types of variables, okay? These are the correct way to write your variable name. The incorrect way of writing variables are if you start your variable name with the integer number, or start with the capital letter, or start with the uppercase letter, like these. Don't start your variable with the capital letters. Now, let's start the keywords var, final, and const. For var keyword, specify var, name of the variable, and the value queen. It's like a dynamic data type. It can predict the data type itself, okay? And it is changeable as well. You can reassign the value which is specified with the var keyword. Now let's talk about the keyword final. Final keyword, like final variables, are evaluated at runtime. These variables are created using the final keyword, and their values can be determined at runtime. They can be initialized at the time of declaration. Once a final variable is initialized, its value cannot be changed. You should use final keyword variables when the value is determined at runtime. such as a result of a function call. You can use final keywords inside the classes and methods. Const keyword. Const variables are evaluated at compile time, which means that their values are known at the time the app is built. These variables are created using the const keyword and their values must be compile time constants. You should use const keyword variables when the value of a variable is known at compile time. And const is mainly used for variable whose value is known as compile time, such as number, strings, booleans, and it is more efficient since it is evaluated at compile time. If this concept is not clear to you, don't worry, I'll explain it in more detail later when we start the Flutter course. Okay? It is important to understand that learning new technologies can be challenging at times, but it is important to take things one step at a time and not get overwhelmed. Okay? Now let's talk about some important functions which I have mentioned in my agenda. So the one important function is concatenation. What is concatenation? Let me show you. First name Flutter and the second name Queen. But if I want to print first name, I should write the first name in the print statement and it will print Flutter. Or if I want to print my second variable, I need to write another print statement to print my second variable name, Flutter and Queen. But I want that Flutter Queen in the same line. I want Flutter Queen together. So now there comes in concatenation. Concatenation is with the plus sign. When you concatenate two variables together, first name plus second name. Now, in my single print statement, it will concatenate my two variables together, Flutter and Queen. But as you can see, there is no space between Queen and Flutter. There's two ways to give spaces like this. Okay, or you can give it in the print statement like this. Okay. This is how the concatenation helps us. Let's talk about lowercase, uppercase, and length. As you can see, there is a value Flutter Queen and I want to lower the letters of this value. So write variable name dot, there is a lots of built-in functions. I selected two lowercase function to lowercase my Flutter Queen letters. Now dot to uppercase to get the capital letters used to uppercase. And if you want to know about the length of that variable, of that value, like how much length, you can write dot length in letters. Let's count. It will count your space as well. Replace all is another built-in function. Okay, there is a value. My name is Ariba. I want to change this Ariba with the Queen. So in that case, I'll use the replace all function. This is the built-in Dart function. You need to write that value first that you want to change, like Ariba, and then Queen, and it will change Ariba to Queen. Okay. Now there is another built-in function, split. What a split can do, it will convert your value into the list. Just you need to give one argument, like I give the space. It will convert my name is Ariba value into the list with the commas. As you can see, it creates spaces between them. That's all for today. This is the part 1 of Dart. Stay tuned for the part 2. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Thank you so much.